If you've been trying to play Pig and can't seem to get more than 4 wins, I got you covered in this video. I'm introducing Tryhard Tuesdays, where I attempt to over-explain my thought process when playing a hero or card I'm confident with. So we're doing the arguably easiest build for the hardest hero in the Bazaar. Also, make sure to check out my Snnuy TV channel for another Pig run in the same style. Okay, so what my plan is, what I'm going to do is I'll call it Tryhard. I'm going to try to win. I'm mostly doing that so I have a better way of explaining my thought process, but also so I can help other people kind of explain how I think and why I do certain things as Pygmalien. So I'm just going to take a little bit longer to make my choices. And I'm planning to do like maybe like a Tryhard Tuesday or something on the YouTube channel. Just with the characters I'm comfortable on, because I don't think I'm like super comfortable on Dooley, for example. And I think I'm okay at Vanessa, but nowhere near like top tier. Whereas with Pig, I think I understand the mechanics to a level where I'm comfortable doing something like this. I think with Pig there are really 2 options, and that's income or it's choose a gold tier skill. This is good if you get burn. This is very good if you get burn and you find a matchbox. That's basically like the best possible scenario for this. I don't really like doing enchanted because it's not consistent. You can get a enchanted matchbox or an enchanted like bird or enchanted piggles even, because enchanted piggles give you more enchanted small piggles. So I'll do the consistent option here and go with income. I find enchanted mostly used to win early fights. The thing about enchanted is that it's too much of a high up roll or a low roll. I feel like there's no in between either. It's like there's a couple of items that are really good when they're enchanted, and that's where it ends. Everything in between is just garbage. You really need to do like something very specific. And I think if you're trying to do better at a game, it's a bad way to learn the game. It doesn't really teach you fundamentals very well because you just rely on one item. So if you're playing Pig, what you do is very often you just in the early game completely ignore items and you go for income. Pig is the best late game hero because he scales extremely well. He is the best scaling character in the game. So if you're like playing Vanessa or Dooley and you've encountered a Pig in a late game, you probably know like, oh yeah, I'm probably not winning this one, right? So for that reason, it's okay to kind of give up on day 1, 2, and 3 fights because you are going to be stronger on average on day 13 plus. So I think that's why income is extremely good, and yeah, I like money. Best Pig item is duct tape because he can scale the shielding on the duct tape and it will give you a lot of free wins early. Now, if I was playing with a gold skill and I had burn, I would still go here. But we'll go to the banana ball. And Pink Rose, thank you for the 31 months. Money good. I think enchanted is funny for matchbox pass. That's it. It's also good. Like they made a change, and now if you get piggles, they generate enchanted piggles. The character you're playing against is cute. Yeah, this is the banana ball. He doesn't have voice lines yet. Just a small little guy enjoying a banana. Well, he is also a banana. Oh, that's why it's called a banana ball, because he's a cannibal. Ah. Yeah, I'm glad you made it, Pink Rose. I don't have to feel guilty if you miss your stream streak. Have fun with your friends. Okay, so 3 spare changes is fine, but we have 22 gold, so we're really looking for an item. We have nothing to upgrade. We'll go here. This is income. We'll take that. This is some scaling, which is very important on Pig. On Pig, you really, really, really need scaling. That's like the one thing. These items are not good though. So you always buy the briefcase because you go even on gold. Atlatl is one of Pig's best items, but it's not good early game. Which is why I will not buy it now and hopefully acquire it late game if my build demands it. Okay, sharpening stone, abandoned chest. This is basically upgraded bronze item, but really looking for better items. So I'll help you find who does. Okay, so you always buy ATM because it gives you 1 income. So on day 1, we have 10 income. I sell the briefcase now, so I can roll, because these items are not very good. This is a good item early on, so we can buy that. I do also like the kiss, but it takes a bit long to scale up, and we don't have a rewards card. So I will sell this, this, and this, and then buy this. Reason this is good is because it has +1 multicast if you have more health than the enemy, and because Pig has 300 health while Vanessa has 250, this will most of the time have the multicast, but yeah. I could have considered selling the weights and kept the ATM, but I think the scaling here might make the difference. 10 damage on something with multicast is just quite good. So as Pig, you invest in income and play for late game. Then what do you do as Vanessa? Well, basically, I would say it's tempo, but it's a bit more nuanced than that. I would recommend actually listening to the podcast that I was on a few days ago, because those have some very good Dooley and Vanessa players. I think Pig is just more unique that way, because if you've played games like Hearthstone, Runeterra, in Hearthstone he's basically Druid, where you're scaling, you're giving up tempo so you can scale harder into the late game. And with Runeterra, it's like, you know, if you're playing Freljord, it's like playing a Catalyst, right? Spend 5 mana to heal a little bit and give yourself extra mana. The way that works with Pig is, obviously, you're not scaling mana or health. You're scaling value on your items that give you more damage. So I am giving up gold that I would be getting. I'm giving up other items that I could be buying. So I can scale the value on one item higher, basically. Okay, so sell small and large items. Get a heal item. So this is usually when you go to an encounter, this will say get a small heal item. This can be any heal item. I'll link the podcast one more time. There you go. I'll also post it on YouTube. So, unfortunately, we still got a small item. Let's hoping for something better. Okay, so I'm a pretty big arms dealer enjoyer, because I like getting scaling that will last you all game early on. This is also good. If you have 5 or fewer items, your items have plus 10% crit. This is really, really good in the early game, especially because my board is not even big enough to have more than 5 items. This could be good. This will win like a good amount of early game fights for you know, just picking this. But I'm gonna go for the scaling because that's how I like to play big.
Maybe I'm getting better at this.
Okay. The only way you go to the small creature, the tiny furry monster, is if you have a toy, friend, or food. We have neither of those, I think. Yeah, so we can't go there because then you get 1 experience. And that's the only worthwhile thing it has.
Buy my weapons.
Okay, so we'll take the dog because it scales. We'll take the briefcase as always. We'll do a roll. We also have that. It's day 2. Okay, I'll buy the Regal Blade. So Regal Blade is where you sell a weapon, this gains 10 damage. And I don't really have a direction right now, and I need one. So now we have a dog that scales. We have a Regal Blade that scales. And what this does is it sets us up for a Crook build. Which is probably not the most exciting way to play Pig, but it is, you know, important to understand what that build does if you want to be good at Bazaar, I guess. So we can't beat this. We can't beat the Rogue Scrapper. So we'll actually take the Coconut Crab here. Little veggies. So one thing that was really good, and one thing that's really good with the Regal Blade, is the fact that we have Arms Dealer. So we're incentivized to buy and sell weapons to scale our Regal Blade, but we're also getting health for it. Which is why I just love this item. It goes well with a couple of big items that I just like. Regal Blade looks pretty boring, but I think I think it's pretty fun playstyle, honestly. Okay, so we're gonna go to Jungle Runes again. We're gonna take the income. We did win our day 1, which doesn't always happen as Pig, so already kind of ahead of the curve. And now we're gonna take the Upgrade Hammer. So, I think I made a small mistake by selling all my weapons already when I could have just sat on them and then sold this to upgrade this, and then when I sell a weapon, it gains 20 damage. That would have been slightly better. But I was worried that I wouldn't be able to win the PvE fight. Anyway, so I'm kind of just explaining the basics right now, but I will go into like more in-depth thoughts about how I guess pivot a build or what I'm looking for, and just generally like how and what you want to look for as Pig. The directions that you have are usually Matchbox to win early, scaling, or just like one powerful item with some scalers like Dog and Regal Blade. I think we barely win. Yeah, so this is huge because we're just scaling. We have 12 income, and we're winning fights. Massive. Important items for Pig in the early game are rewards card, because the rewards card gives you a lot of scaling money. Like right now I'm scaling health, but scaling money is usually what like helps you kind of get that just income and gold sitting back that when you need to transition your build, you'll be able to find it very fast. Hello, Gary Rose. Fishing Rod Vanessa Vanquish. I mean, you know, you can get lucky with the matchups, but it is a pretty big deal because sometimes you just lose everything early while you're chasing your income. This just means we have to win less late game. Okay, so apropos chapeau is a very good item. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
Oh, I think you're really gonna.
Okay, and there's the Crook. So we're really looking good now. I'm going to sell this coin. I'm going to buy the Crook. So this is where things get a bit interesting. I'm not a huge fan of the Dog. And I am kind of willing to sell one item to buy the cargo shorts because it is apparel that will give the apropos chapeau more multicast. I could also just like sell this, and this. And then buy this. It's 4 gold. It can kind of sit in the back. As soon as I find some items that I want to sell, I will be making this silver. So we'll take a bronze item. It's a fantastic item. Super good item. What matters most is that we got a weapon, right? So we'll put this here for now. Gonna sell this. Actually, I could put that in the stash, I guess. I'll put it in the stash because it, actually... It's an interesting angle here because the cargo shorts can pretty easily give this all our multicast, right? We're missing... We're basically missing our, ATM. If we have a property, this will have 5 multicasts through the cargo shorts. That's pretty powerful, actually. Okay. So I will upgrade this. And then I'll sell this. This is an item that scales, so eventually it will be stronger than the longbow, but for now it's just good to have multicast while we're scaling the damage. Okay, so what we're looking for is basically scaling for the Regal Blade. That will win us a lot of games. We're trying to just be stable. We're trying to have a good enough build that we can beat some opponents and get wins while we transition into a more powerful version of Crook. Hello, Hawatari and Furpaz. Hello. Call it a Pig Masterclass. I think especially if you're learning Pig, knowing how to play Crook is pretty important. And we got one of the best skills in the entire game. At start of each fight, haste 2 items for 3 seconds. A lot of the starter combat haste things got nerfed. And this is one that remains. This is economy major. Basically, yeah, it's how to get rich quick. Okay, we're looking for a property, so we can give this 5 multicast, right? That's what we're looking for. This is good for the Dog, but I don't think I care enough because I'm not likely to keep playing the Dog. Okay. Oh my god.
Keep them off my list.
Guardian.
Have a nice stream smile.
Hey, thank you, buddy. Nice to hear from you again. Thank you for the dono, dude. Hope you're doing all right. 420, what a beautiful number. Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. Okay, so speaking of money, we're gonna buy the rewards card because it makes even more money. So you always buff the truffles. Unfortunately, truffles got nerfed. Now it just gives your leftmost items +1 value. Usually what you would do as Pig, like one of my favorite things about Pig was having a strong enough board to win early. Get a rewards card, buff the truffles, and then eventually when you find like a gym or God forbid a fixer-upper or a pawn shop, you would simply sell this and transfer all the value over, but you can't do that anymore. It's probably for the best that they got nerfed, but it also made some of my favorite items a lot worse. It did scare you, so it makes me want to do it more. It was way louder than I thought. But you know, I'm not complaining when other people want to give me money, you know. I like money. No, thank you. Thank you. It's unnecessary. Unless you want to see me jump out of my chair. Okay. So we want to buy and sell stuff here, even though we're a little bit broke. Okay, so because we're broke, I will actually do this. I'm just going to sell the dog. I'll buff this. Oh, this is kind of hard, actually. I will buy the Atlatl and keep it for now. It's really awkward. Wasn't laser property? No, it's a weapon. I can't transfer the enchantment from Truffle anymore. That's also been nerfed. It's been nerfed. This is pretty damn strong. It's unfortunate we didn't find a property, but this worked. So we're just kind of looking to chill, get a lot of money, and then use that income to find better Crook items. Learning Pig is just learn to be an accountant. It is all about money management. Like playstyles like Pig make me just really impressed with the way this game is designed as well, in the form of like the archetypes essentially, because it is one character you're playing with a set of cards, but at the same time it's also like these archetypes are like inventory management through the cargo shorts. It's money management, it's scaling value, but it's also just like, hey, here's a Crook. Anyway, yeah, we kind of got our ass handed to us right there, but that's okay. Upgrade a bronze tier item. I like upgrading the rewards card, but I think it's irrelevant if we're playing Crook right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a skill and hopefully get plus damage for left or rightmost weapon. Didn't find it, so we'll roll here. Your weapons have 5% crit. Strength is one of the best tempo skills in the entire game. It's like a relatively small amount of damage early on, but it will help you win, like clutch out so many wins. Thing is learning about transition, understood. Opening Premiere Pro. Yeah, I got some presets for you if you're looking for that. If they fix it, yeah, it's been nerfed. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. The reason I went to Curio is because we have Arms Dealer first of all, and because we have the Regal Blade, and he will just sell you a bunch of crap. So Atlatl is one of the strongest things about Crook, because it can go down to a 1-second cooldown. So I'm already like preemptively putting all my eggs in this basket, so that once it's at 180 damage, it will be on a 1-second cooldown, and then I can just put it in and start winning everything. We're not there yet. This is a property. I can buy it, but it's like, it's kind of bad. Yeah, I'm not gonna buy this. There are better properties. Okay, so instead of going here, I'm gonna go here and get a random weapon. It's not a bad weapon, actually. This is, when you use an adjacent weapon, it gains 6 damage. Okay, we'll go beat Hydro Dude.
The Deep Dynasty.
I got Pistol Sword from a random encounter. Is there a build I can do with it on Pig? No. Pig has no ammo spam. Playing Pig feels like playing ramp, but you actually have to work hard to ramp. Yeah, you can't just play one card and be like, hey, I ramped. With Pig, you have to keep ramping. It's about making money and then spending money. I'm really excited for Mac, man. I didn't even know about some of these archetypes that Mac is supposed to have, but I found out about it on the podcast. Apparently, Mac's going to be like combining ingredients and then passing on enchants through the way you're combining the ingredients. Super cool, I think. Okay, we'll sell this.
I would spar with you, but this leg.
Huge upgrade. Did we get a release date for Mac? 1.5 weeks. Next week, Wednesday. Okay, we'll sell. We'll spy this.
Make me proud.
I do want to buy like as many weapons as I can so I can sell them for the Regal Blade, but I'm not like They're a bit expensive. I could be doing better with my money management here. Okay, we'll take a left eye for some crit chance. Crit chance on a Regal Blade is just very good, and also what will win you a lot of the early game. I'll get 4 gold because we're a bit broke. Okay. Unfortunately, we didn't really find a good property. I could have gone to the economy vendor, but I was a bit broke. And going to a guy that wants to buy and sell money, you're not gonna do too well there. Yeah, we're doing very well.
Like my crew says at the bar.
Okay.
Another round.
Pretty interesting Vanessa build right there. A lot of damage, but like, this is the thing about Vanessa. Don't get me wrong, this is strong, right? But if you're gonna commit to weapon spamming as Vanessa, I don't think you play the captain's wheel, right? You just spam all small weapons, and you will win a good amount of games with just that. I actually think it's super underrated. More people should do it. We're just playing Square Pig. Again, the reason I'm doing this is because I just think fundamentally, if you want to play Pig, you need to know this archetype. Okay, business card is another item that you kind of always want to buy. I think one of our best weapons, or best things we can find, is a ledger, so we can scale more value. Sell. I'm also going to sell this now. Okay. Buy. Sell. Okay, I'm not gonna roll here. I don't want to spend 2 gold to roll because getting broke again. So we're just gonna keep going for the hardest fights. Jules, we need to cook. I'm most excited for Jules. I had a poll, a community. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's the thing about Regal Blade. It's the one thing we're scaling the damage on, and then it also sometimes doubles that with the crit. I had this, and you can kind of tell that most people are excited for Jules. Okay, silver tier loot. 5 silver tier chocolate bar gumballs. We're gonna do a silver tier item. Tool apparel. Doesn't do much. Okay, this is your favorite vendor if you're playing Square Pig because he sells square items. This one is too expensive. And that's a Regal Blade upgrade. Holy crap. I think I mispositioned there even. Which one is Jules again? The cook, the chef. The girl with 4 arms. Okay, we'll do a small weapon because we're broke. Yeah, I'm never using this. We'll sell it. Get 30 damage there. So the way you want to play Crook, and I think this is a good time to bring this up. What you're starting with is a simple build like this, right? Usually what you want to do is you want to have Crook. And because it's hard to find multiple good square items in the early game, I'm using that to play the Apropos Chapeau and the Cargo Shorts to have a lot of multicast. But what you want to do is have one scaling item that can be either Regal Blade, it can be Cash Cannon, it can be Dog. I think Regal Blade is the best one out of those. You can choose to have 2 of those items, but usually it's kind of like overkill. And another reason that you don't want to have multiple is because when you get into the late game, your ideal board will usually look like Crook, which you can sometimes even cut, a belt giving you max HP, a Lion's Cane, dealing damage equal to your max HP, then either like Caltrops and Atlatl. Atlatl because it just activates really fast, and you can activate synergies through that sometimes. Caltrops because it can often be a free win against Dooley and Vanessa. There are 2 more items that are worth mentioning, and that is the Flamethrower from Dooley and the Pendulum from Mac. Flamethrower is like burn equal to the damage, and because Crook gives a lot of free damage, it will just like have another win con basically. It becomes the best item in Crook, honestly. And Pendulum is when you use an item to the left or right, charge the other item to the left or right 2 seconds if it give it crit chance. Insane with Atlatl because it's a 1 second cooldown. How would you improve your board right at this moment? That's a great question, and I'm glad that the shop delivered. So we want this because we can buy and sell it. It's for this. And Belt is incredible. and probably better than this. It does have the multicast, but this is what's winning us most games. So what we're looking to do now is we're trying to pivot out of the apropos chapeau and the cargo shorts. These are our worst items and the items that we're not going to keep around for longer because we want to use the 80 damage from this as much as possible, right? But because this is already really strong, actually I'm thinking now, maybe this is even better. We don't even lose multicast on it yet. This was a good item because it double dips from like the scaling here. But we really, really, really want to have Caltrops and an Atlatl that's active. And then eventually you find a Lion's Cane, but it starts at gold. Okay, so this used to be one of the best vendors for Pig because he didn't really have any burn items, so everything was enchanted. He does now. Oh my god, this is an insane item. But it's 48 gold. Teaching mode today? I'm just trying to be a bit more informative. I play a lot of Pig, so I'm just trying to like see if I could teach some fundamentals. Let's see, we are at 150, so we're getting close to that 180 point. I think we can beat Infernal. Infernal has 2k health. And we have more because of the belt. I'd love to see a fun gym run sometime. So, gym is probably still my favorite item in the game, but it was already pretty weak, and now they nerfed it even harder with the nerf to truffles. So gym becomes even more of a commitment. It's become a lot less consistent as a result. I think we're barely okay. Nice. Yeah, the belt basically what is that gave because it gives extra time to get another activation. When you burn, your weapons gain 4 damage for the fight. So interestingly, the reason very often that you're going to be okay with Pig in like the mid game is you're active at Ladle with a sustain enchant. So either shield or healing. That will very often be what will make you do well enough for like a 7-win run when you're not getting too lucky or when you had a poor start. Healing enchant on that Ladle. It's one of the key things to cheese out wins with Pig, essentially. Okay, so Pig's lifeline, exactly. So I'll put that there. I think I'm upgrading the belt here. Because we're doing okay. We're winning with this board. We're scaling the Regal Blade pretty well. And I know now that by upgrading this, once I get a Lion's Cane, I can take this to 10 wins. There are multiple ways you can win in Bazaar. It's like 4 wins goes even, 7 wins is +1, 10 wins is +2. But if you're at 7 wins, there's honestly like very little reason to go for 8 or 9 wins. Because you don't get more than you got at 7 wins. So if you think you can reach 7 wins, with what you currently have, you should already try to aim for 10 wins. I know it sounds like really obvious, but sometimes those type of choices mean, you know, planning for the future. And by upgrading the belt, I'm planning for the future. I'm saying, okay, I know that if I want to compete in the late game, I need a bigger health total. Plus, I need a weapon that's very good that scales off my health. And that's kind of like what playing this game a lot does. It's simply knowing like, oh yeah, I know what items I need to win. And that is the Lion's Cane combined with the belt. Gumball Machine is also really, really good. But I don't think I have the gold to support it.
Not ready to accept the light, and that's okay.
Okay, I always go to weapons. Yeah.
I'm finished with
What are your
that.
thoughts on VIP card?
Newful teaches stillness.
It seems like such a game changer for some large. Yeah, I think it's a bit too strong even. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets nerfed at some point. But they nerfed Truffles, I think, and
Enjoy the thrill of battle.
yeah, Truffles was the real offender when it came to like scaling value too fast and too easy. So I forgot to mention the boomerang, but this is also an insane item to find on Pig in general. It's even better with Crook Pick because sometimes you could just like leave it in as a weapon. It's a square item, so.
Boring.
Again, I'll keep saying this, I'll keep repeating it, but Crook is not the most exciting way to play Pig, but if you find it and you can win with it, you can either decide to commit to it, or you can just play a board like this while you're scaling something else, right? That was my favorite way to play. What I would often do is I would just play Crook because it's strong, and then I would have like a rewards card and a gym in the back so that later on I can transition to like a Atlatl yo-yo combo or something. That was often like what would compete better in a late game. But since that's been nerfed, I'm not really doing that right now. Okay, so we'll put this in here so I don't forget. For 13 gold, we'll take a weapon. Interesting weapon. Truffle was fine, Ledger wasn't still a problem. I don't really agree. I think, if anything, it's like both items existing that it's a problem. Ledger buffing Truffle and then rewards card also buffing Truffle. Versus like now one of them is gone. Yeah, Cargo Shorts doesn't have the cooldown anymore. Man, I'm a sucker for Mysterious Portal. But this is weapons for our Arms Dealer and Regal Blade. Yeah, let's just go here. It's actually not the worst thing, because this is a really good item on Pig. This loses me 1k health. Now it loses me 600 health. Okay, it feels really bad doing this, but 400 health? This is really broken. Because Deadly on this gives all my items 50% crit. I'm gonna do it. Crook is awful for enchants, except crit. Because this says your items have 10% crit chance for each medium item you have. So by giving this Deadly, it basically gave my entire board Deadly. Yeah, it really sucks that I lost 400 health, but I think this completely like makes that okay. It's that strong. How do you get good using Pig? Honestly, I've been playing him and I can't seem to make his builds work. Yeah, I tried to kind of go through that on the early game. So what you need to know for Pig is like the best gameplay pattern that you can have with him, in my opinion, is not necessarily playing for full-on tempo, but taking a lot of income early. Just being like, okay, I can give up some early game fights because I'll be very strong in the late game. But to do that, to be strong in the late game, what you really need is a rewards card scaling with or like a ledger, or like you need to scale your fixer upper, your gym, buy your giant ice club when you find it, stuff like that. You need to know what the late game can look like in order for you to win. So that being said, while you want to scale value in the early game and make as much money that you can use later on, the best builds that you're going to use to win early is Matchbox with like marbles, piggles.
Watching. Now that Bazaar is out, I started watching you again, and to be honest, I really missed your content.
Thank you so much for the 2 months. I appreciate that. I hope you're enjoying the Bazaar as well. So that's Matchbox, marbles, and like other small items. The other one is Ganjo with like a bandages and scaling it. And then like one weapon with multicast, hopefully. For example, Flail. Flail is like a really low damage item that has 3 multicast. It's awful unless you're scaling it. Because if you're scaling the damage, it's like you're scaling that damage 3-fold because it hits 3 times. Matchbox, that's the Ganjo scaling. And another way to win is using this item. This item is deceptively strong in the early game, especially at silver tier. And if you put something like a cloak next to it, or again the Ganjo or any other scaling, it will win you a surprising amount of early game wins. This is one of the better early game items. It got bonged. It used to be 8 seconds, now it's 9. And with 9 seconds, it's more likely that you have less HP than your opponent. But that is a way to, you know, play for that. So we're gonna do gold tier skills here. +2 income for each property you have. Enemy uses a weapon, your shield items gain shield. I do really like this income, but I don't have any properties. Your leftmost and rightmost weapons have plus damage equal to their value. That is a very, very good one. Equal to their value. So what we actually want to do now is scale the Atlatl value. What's the best weapons to go with the gym, Mr. Streamer? So the perfect gym setup, in my opinion, is... I'm gonna stick to Pig items for this one. It's Atlatl, Yo-Yo, Gym, Balcony, and then like any square item that will either give you sustain or Just like more multicast damage. But Yo-Yo and Atlatl is the most important. Duping Yo-Yo, for example, is very good in that build. Okay, we're gonna sell that. So normally you would go here for the 2 experience. Am I doing that now as well? I don't think I am. I think I'm going to JJ because I'm scaling the damage on my Atlatl that way. And hopefully I can find some weapons. I found one, and it's not a very good one. As in, like, it's too expensive. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep my gold. I don't think this is worth it. Okay, so here we have non-weapon items, which is still fine because it can be a belt. Okay, I mean, we're not really... we have inventory space, so we can get that. VIP pass. This is also pretty good. Okay, before the PvP fight, I want to do this. Can't really get away with this. We'll do this. Okay, we have a undefeated dually. So this will be a rough fight, you would think, but we do have the crit chance, the 50 crit. So I think we might be okay because of that. This is like just so absurdly powerful. 66% crit. There we go. Yeah, they need to beat us in 6 seconds, which is really hard with the belt, right? Like, this is too much. So again, because I'm already strong, I have upgraded the belt to set up for the late game. I did lose health by giving this crit chance, but it's just so powerful, man. Upgrading Deadly Crook to Deadly gives your entire board Deadly. This is probably the most powerful enchant you can get on the Crook build, on the square pick build. Well, we're great. Yeah, this is my weakest weapon by far. It's probably my. I mean, so this item and this item is weak. What I'm trying to do is getting this to 180, and then I can just play it. Okay, so you always get the ATM. That's +3 income. I know it's day 8, but it will still be relevant. Trust me. Trust me. I should actually do this. 2 value from the boar market. Where can I play this game? I keep seeing it, I want to play it. Play Bazaar. Play the Bazaar, I think. What's the cooldown of Atlatl? I just put it in, it was like... Yeah, it's 120, 4.4. I mean, the magic number is 180. That's really where you want it to be at.
Now that's quality.
Wow. Okay, so... wait. Oh, I forgot to move it back. So we're gonna sell this. I don't know, we bought that for like 4 or 8 gold. And then it was worth like 28. Let's just pick things.
Oh, that's silver.
So what are we at now? We are at 160. We're missing 20 damage. Okay. Isn't 4.4 already better than bow? No, because the bow multicasts, which I quite value. Okay, we're gonna do silver tier loot now. Healing, it's terrible. I feel like I keep moving this here and then it just disappears. Is that because I'm putting it back in and out? Okay, so when you're playing Crook pick, you always go to the Burninator bot because it has a flamethrower. And flamethrower is arguably the best Crook pick item. It would be better if using it start our build, but it doesn't, yeah. Like, if there was, like, it would be my fastest cooldown, so if there was something, it was like kickstarting, it would be good, but at 4.4, I just don't think it's worth it. Also, because we have the apropos chapeau giving it damage, right? Then multicast is just better. Unlucky. The first 5 times you slow each fight, charge 1 burn item 1 second. Okay. So we want to go slows here. Not slow, skills. This is good. But skills giving us damage would be the dream. First 3 times you use a non-weapon item, each fight charge 1 weapon 1 second. I'm gonna take the crit here. Okay, we're gonna go to the square guy for square pig.
Nothing tiny, nothing huge.
Any weapons? That's a good weapon. Okay, well, we can't really use these, so we'll just sell them. It feels bad selling this without getting value, but whatever.
Just toss that on my back, and I'll trot it to your...
Yeah, I'm assuming bows 3 times because I have the belt in as well.
If it's
Oh, we're doing all right. We're in a good spot. So, day 8, we're doing really well on the wins. What I'm gonna try to do is look for the Lion's Cane, and I'm gonna upgrade the belt to diamond.
I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago.
Like, the haste is so good from Brick, man. It's insane. Like, look at that. What the hell? They had 355 regen. From this? Oh my god. Wait, that's kind of a Giga Chat build. Damn. We can find a monster, which is good for us. Yeah. I could have taken the damage increase too. That would also been good. This guy also has a very interesting item for Pig, which is the Mortal Coil. The weapon to the left of this has lifesteal. And it's a square item. Well, as long as we don't get crit. I don't even think we beat this, actually. Okay, he didn't crit, but we probably still don't have the damage to beat him. No. Freezer was pretty bad, man. Yeah, this is where the belt is a complete waste of space because I deal damage equal to my max HP. It's kind of unfortunate. That would have been a really good win. Enchant item with poison effects. I'll do a random enchant on the Atlatl.
Becoming triangular.
Yeah, it's like it makes us worse. Is that haste? Haste is pretty good, actually. Haste is pretty good. Haste 2 items for 2 seconds. Okay, so now it's for sure better than this, so we can just go ahead and sell that. I'll still put this here. Mysterious portal? Stell? Okay. I'm not buying that. Right? No, it's terrible. No weapons to buy and sell? Alright. So what, do I just do? I think if I do this, I probably beat it, actually. Oh, would Gatling be terrible? I really hate that it starts at a 5-second cooldown and then takes so long to get online. Okay, yeah, so that was a lot easier. Alright. I should just take it out the belt in the first place, man. That is very good. Very, very good. This is also incredible. 5 damage. Doesn't seem that much, but it just gets us there faster. Okay, sell weapons.
Use it well. Make me proud.
So we're kind of hoping for a Lion's Cane here.
Go make some more stories. Then come back and tell me.
Okay, I mean, whatever. Shield, heal, Pygmalien skills. Would you have played the site? It's square? Probably not, because the only reason it's good in their build is because they have synergy with it. I mean, it's possible because of the crit chance we have, but it's like such a low cooldown. Long cooldown. It's like 10 or 11 seconds. Your weapons have plus damage equal to double your income. Alright, well, so we're entirely online now. 200 damage. There we go. Okay, let's do temporary boost. 25 damage. Think of the thumbnail. You know what? That would make it worth playing. Oh, this upgraded the rewards card. Right, okay. Now, this is a tool. This is a tool, and this is a tool. Crook. Okay. 7 wins versus 7 wins. So now we're looking to replace the Apropos Chapeau with a Lion's Cane or Caltrops. That is how we take it to the next level. Okay. I think this is pretty winnable, because we have our board turbo hasted basically, and we have a lot of health. And if we crit, they're just dead. Oh, didn't even crit, and they're still dead. Okay. Yeah, so one thing to note about Atlatl is that its enchants are kind of overtuned. The game kind of looks at this as like a 10-second medium-sized item, and they're like, okay, we'll give it enchants appropriate to that. but it goes down to a 1 second cooldown. Like hasting 2 items for 2 second cooldown on a 1 second cooldown item is just not really something you see very often. It's the same with slows. Like this slows 2 items for 2 seconds. It's very disruptive.
Make deals, not war.
This is a property that we've been looking for. Honestly, I've just been like completely ignoring this thing. I probably should have like bought a property and kept it for this. That's actually a misplay on my part. A pretty big one. Freezing at level is also... Yes, yeah. Freezing at level is very good, yeah. And it's still bronze. Yeah, so... this is also a pretty big difference between some items. When you upgrade some items, you also increase their scaling. For example, the Regal Blade at bronze is when you sell a weapon, this gains 10 damage. At silver, it's 20. At gold, it's 30. At diamond, it's 40 damage every time I sell a weapon. The only thing you upgrade from a ladle by getting it to silver, gold, and diamond is its damage. So if I can just scale its damage naturally, I have no reason to upgrade it to a higher tier unless I want the damage. Which would be great, but I'm not gonna like actively pursue it.
Savor a single second.
It's a beautiful dog.
See it
Covered in glue.
every angle.
Why do you keep putting that weapon on bank? We have a boar market that says your leftmost and rightmost weapons have plus damage equal to their value. So giving this value through the rewards card gives it a little bit of extra damage. Okay, we'll just go for the experience here. Usually, around like day 12 is where Crook kind of starts to fall off, from my experience, but you can still take it beyond very easily with the Belt Lion's Cane setup. Caltrop's also very, very good, but more matchup dependent. Like, Caltrop just gives you freebies sometimes.
Believe you'll win, and you'll win. But
And this got upgraded because of the tool. That's some extra damage, you know, it's not bad. Let's do a gold tier loot item. Hey, we got damage again. Not bad. Give this 10 damage. All our damage is scaling naturally, except the Crook. We don't care about that, so we just want all damage to be on the lowest cooldown weapon.
If I don't have what you need, I'll help you find who.
Lion's Cane. Okay, so we'll buy this, and this time we'll act... Oh, no, wait. Oh, no, I didn't misplay. I didn't have the cargo shorts anymore, so I didn't need a property, right? Stupid. Okay, so this is good. This is definitely better than this.
stay and buy the whole store.
Photograph is a square item, and because this is a 1k damage item with 64% crit chance, we'll lower the cooldown to 5.3. It's pretty good. It's just about upgrades right now. We're already plenty strong, but you can always be stronger. I think I didn't play the boomerang just now as well. Let's see if we can get a couple of bargain bin items here.
I do miss it.
Not really. Sell that one. Let's get a little bit extra.
When you carry my weapon, I fight alongside you.
Take a shot every time streamer says square. You'd be drunk real fast.
I should warn you, I'm not like other Jabalians.
I may be young for a captain, but I've seen my share of storms.
Oh my god. Well, Juggler, Icy Trebuchet, and they're dead.
You should put it toward nobler use.
Oh, wait, dive weights with Juggler? Okay, well, this is why the Phonograph Regal Blade is a good combo, man. What happened here, man? It's because Rigged landed here, right? Rigged landed here, or this buffed it, I guess. Yeah, Rigged landed here, and then this also just kept my build going. Oh, right, this only has 2 targets now. It only has these 2 as a target. That's really good, actually, man. That's why Caltrops would also be good. Okay, here we go again. Isla.
But this leg.
Okay, we can actually hold this weapon. This is when you sell an item, this gains 1 value.
Action.
The big blue ball. Okay, I mean this is this has done its job, I guess, giving us a little bit extra money. We're logged into playing Square Pig, so I'll get rid of it. Oh my god, I'm muted. Bro, Walter Coolest, thank you for the subs. I was saying I had a good time the other day on the podcast. I was spamming the link right here. Making sure people check it out. And thank you for having me. That was a good time. And thank you again for the 5 subs. Thanks, Walter. Dragon Tooth is decent.
Buyer's remorse never. Be remorseless.
Okay, so we probably just play that.
Tell everyone you got it here.
I don't think I need my health against this guy. This should be fine. Sure. A little bit of extra damage from the Dragon Tooth, why not? It is less crit chance though, it shouldn't really matter. Yeah, so you can probably tell that, like, you know, 200 damage on day 11 it just doesn't feel like as much as it would be a couple of days ago. Upgrade an item. Okay, at this point, it's either the belt or the phonograph. And I think because we haven't found the lion's cane, I'm upgrading the phonograph. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Upgrading the phonograph here. Because this is what's winning us games. This goes from 5.3 to 3.5. That is significant, to say the least. Okay, let's do temporary boost. We're trying to make this our last fight. We'll do 900 health this time. We could do more health here.
I would tell you who sent me.
Usually you go for experience with this guy, but because I'm trying to make this my last fight, I'm going for the health. Honestly, like, just really cookie cutter build here. Just like everything kind of went down as expected, right? Just played very by the book. Follow the rules, play a little bit for tempo, make some late game investments, and then try to kill them before your build starts to fall off.
You should know, I'm a bit of a legend.
This is a quintessential pig. 1200, yeah, that's not gonna cut it, man. I have a 3.5 second 1200 damage. They have a 10 second 1200 damage weapon.
More plunder.
Okay. That's pretty nice, man. We were crazy strong. Like 3.5 second cooldown on this is kind of crazy. Very comparable, honestly, to one weapon Vanessa, except we have more weapons than that. But yeah, what you do have to see this as is everything in the Crook build right now basically existed to synergize with the Regal Blade, right? Like, this is giving us health, giving us more time to hit. Phonograph is giving this reduced cooldown so it can hit more often. This is honestly only giving damage to this thing, so it's active at a 1 second cooldown, so it can haste this permanently. This was going to hit every 1.8 seconds. So while we're playing Crook, it's really a Regal Blade build, I would say. But it wouldn't work without the Crook, and this is just like the square aspect of it. Yeah. 11k health on something that is pretty aggressive is also just like not too shabby, right? I'd say if I had to like pinpoint the moment where we really had a moment where we were like, okay, we can take this to 10 wins, it's when we gave this deadly, right? We make that decision to sacrifice health to give this deadly early, and then it was just all wins from there on out because this is disgustingly strong. GG.
Thinking of the Bazillion Victor, time bomb printer, 1, 2, meta shifter.